Indeed, an honor to be with you this evening and to celebrate this joyous season of celebration for the Ramadan community. And so it is, I'm pleased to be with you this night and bring you greetings on behalf of the New Jersey Coalition of Religious Leaders, particularly our senior president, Rabbi Matthew Garrett's president, Janae Rusha in Short Hills, who could not be with us this night, but wanted to bring you greetings again from the members of that community of coalition leaders here in New Jersey. There are some 60 members. We represent Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Sikh, and Interfaith communities throughout the state. The organization actually has been evolved some 67 years ago when there were civil unrest and riots in Newark, when then Governor Richard Hughes called religious leaders together to see if they could address the brokenness was in that particular city at that particular moment. From that evolved this organization. And it's now, like I said, had some 60-year history, ups and downs, of course, in its leadership, but it's continued to expand, and particularly expanded in the last 5 to 6 years. Recognizing the inclusiveness needed here in New Jersey for religious leaders to come together. New Jersey, indeed, is a diverse state, one of the most diversified states in the nation. And in terms of religious communities, one of the most diversified religious communities in the state. I was looking up the county here where we are tonight. Believe it or not, Middlesex County is the 5th most religious, diverse county in all of the nation. Can you believe that? And I sat sad as I came through the town from Burlington County this night. Again, we have a long history. The coalition was started some time back. But we came here tonight to say we have an invitation for Muslims for Peace to become a part of our coalition, to help us address issues that divide us in this state and bring about concern, because the concern is the common welfare for the well-being of all the citizenry of our state. And the core values of our coalition are all based in the faith traditions that are represented not only here this evening, but represented throughout our state. So I wanted to lift that up this evening as I came to speak to you and say ways in which we address and come together, addressing issues around public policy, concerns around forming relationships of religious leaders here in our state, and again, dedicated to the citizenry of the state to work together and work together in many ways. I'm mindful of the statements that we make often, and knowing those in a community this evening with the Muslim community, I just wanted to share you this statement which was made a few years back when you well recall the desecration of the Christ Church in New Zealand, hateful violence that went on. We came together, some 50 religious leaders signed this statement, saying today we must all see ourselves as Muslims. We must see ourselves as Muslims because when one of us is singled out on the basis of our faith, all of us are hurt. Humanity is violated. Today we must see ourselves as Muslims because to be a Muslim means to submit to the will of Allah, to the will of God. And the will of God is that we should not hate. Rather is that we should love all God's children and hold each other and everyone sacred, created one in God's image. Today and every day, we stand in solidarity with our Muslim sisters and brothers and join them in praying for strength and healing, that God bless them and use us all for peace. Indeed, that's what we're concerned about, linking relationships and bringing peace and bringing well-being to our communities and throughout the state. We've addressed several social justice issues that are concerns to us. We have areas working on public policy issues. I see some of our legislators here this evening. We're working on issues around reparation and study for a task force. We're working on issues around environmental justice. We're working on issues of criminal justice. And we've been very much engaged recently in the reentry program here in New Jersey, seeking to help people that are incarcerated come be mainstream as they come back into society. What we are about is forming relationships between faith communities. his this past week was one that reminded me of that unique relationship we have. There was a significant fire, maybe many of you read about that, at a big church in Burlington County. And the morning thereafter that fire, I received a phone call. And it was from the Sikh community, which was just down the road. And they wanted to know how they could be in touch with this Christian community, where there had been a fire. I was thinking that in the context of one of the remarks that was made about knowing our neighbor. And so I went down to the church and met the pastor. And I said, the Sikh community wants to reach out to you. He said, the Sikh community? I said, yes, the Sikh community. He said, you know, we've never reached out to them. But again, that moment in time, a Christian community and a Sikh community come of the need for one another. We're mindful as we come together this night that we're called to be instruments of peace of God. And so it is, I'm pleased to serve as the coordinator for this coalition. And so it is that I leave you with these words of Martin Luther King, who tells us and reminds us, certainly, that peace, true peace, is not merely the absence of tension, it's the presence of justice. And to that we would call. Thank you very much for the opportunity.